Ladies and gentlebirds, welcome to the Outside Insider. We are now just 2 days away from what might be now the most important game of the NFL season. Eagles versus San Francisco in what promises to be a thriller from every regard, from top to bottom. There might be no team better suited to matching up with the Philadelphia Eagles than this San Francisco outfit. Outside of Brock Purdy, but we'll get to that because I think I might have devised a plan, a blueprint the Eagles can follow to beat the 49ers. There's a couple of trends that San Francisco have kind of been trying to hide away, trying to scuttle under the radar so that no one can understand exactly why they're there. But I've got eyes, I can see. All right, I've been digging, I've been trying to seek out some answers, and I think I've come up with something that will help the Eagles, a way they can beat Brock Purdy. And it's actually good, I can't lie. A lot of the times I say this, they can be quite unhinged, shall we say, takes when it comes to the Eagles. But I'm genuinely on something here. I don't mean drugs. I think we might actually be onto a pathway for the Eagles to win. So happy Friday. We know these sessions are usually a little bit quieter than usual. Just Friday night, everyone's out having a boogie. Hopefully we will be boogieing on Monday. But if you are new to the stream, hello, bonjour, guten tag. If you could leave a like, that'd be absolutely amazing. It's the best way to help support the stream if you like what you see. If you don't, sorry about that. We'll say hello, excuse me, to the guys that are in. The whole army here today. Zach was the first man in the chat. Ducks in. K1 even made it on time. So that deserves a mention in itself after sassing me out of the entire stream yesterday or Wednesday. I'm not disappointed you. I have not disappointed. I've made the graphics, K1, with you in mind especially, is all I'm saying. I'm here, but I'm going to get my iPad so LJ don't do some sloppy BJ talk until I get back. I can't make promises, all right? I'm not that kind of guy. If it comes up, it comes up. Lindy's in and Isaac as well. Love to see it. So where do we start with this week, with this Eagles and Niners matchup? Hopefully with a clear throat. For me, I think the only real place to start is with the injury report. Going into this game, the Philadelphia Eagles find themselves a little bit better off than we first thought, okay? When Wednesday rolled around and, the whole team was dead, there was a slight concern that, indeed, the whole team was dead. We've now learned it's not quite that bad. Dallas Goedert is doubtful. That's probably the biggest thing. Grant Calcaterra, it doesn't help. So you're literally, again, left with Jack Stoll and Albert O at tight end. So if there is ever a calling card for Zach Ertz to come in, that's it. I mean, I'm all for Zach Ertz joining the Eagles one last rodeo. It makes so much sense on so many levels. There's no way in my mind that Howie Roseman hasn't at least picked up the phone now that he has officially cleared waivers. Regardless, that won't affect the outcome of today's game, or Sunday's game. What will other players that are present? And there were a couple of pleasant surprises. So Milton Williams, for instance, makes his return. Fletcher Cox is questionable. That one, slightly annoying. They've kind of traded there that if Fletcher Cox does go down, at least you've got Milton Williams to step up. So Milton has played in around 20% fewer snaps this season than Fletcher Cox. But I'd say he's made more of them. I think Milton Williams has certainly been one of the more explosive defensive tackles the Eagles have around. It'd be great to see him in an increased opportunity. So if there's ever a silver lining to take from the fact that Fletcher Cox might not be able to go, that's probably it. Outside of that, there isn't too much to report on the injury front. All the wide receivers, all the Kings horses and all the Kings men, they're back on their horses. So don't worry about that front. AJ, Devontae, Swift, they'll all be ready to go come Sunday. As we get through your comments. Adam's in. Nice to see you, man. Birds win 31-28. That's our first prediction in the chat. Love to see that from Adam. Love to see Lindy as well. Fuck the call 12. If you're not here on a Friday, you're even a real person. That's why that is support there from Matty Mac. He's back with a vengeance. That's it. We got a core 11. We're in. Cox has a groin. I dare you to make a joke out of that. Look, I wasn't going to make a joke over Lane Johnson's groin, but we've been through that discussion. I don't know how you injure your groin during that process. Some very weird movements going on if you injure your groin. But if there is a Cox suffering a groin injury, maybe they are intertwined, I don't know. Who's to say? Maybe there was a shotgun and someone else's wife involved. No, we're not. No, we won't make jokes. No. True story, right? I love Fletcher Cox. That wasn't the story. That was just a separate comment. But I actually interviewed him a couple of years ago for PSN. Lovely guy, and I did it in my girlfriend's living room, so like over Zoom. And the Super Bowl came on this past year, and I convinced her to stay up and watch it. They do the team announcements where they say, like, you know, the university they played for. Fletch came on, and she was like, "Oh my god, he's seen my living room," and I was like, fair enough. Do you know what? If that's how you get into Eagles football, that Fletcher Cox has seen your living room, you're not the only young woman's living room he saw. I'll tell you that for free, love. I didn't say that. He's a lovely man. All the respect in the world for him. But yeah, being without him will suck. Liam still got an invite for my morning show. Dude, I will come on as soon as I have some time. My wake-up schedule's been atrocious this past couple of weeks. I don't know whether it's seasonal depression or just the fact that waking up at 3 p.m. in England to be in time with the American time zone means everything's darker naturally. I'm not overly sure. But either way, as soon as I can get back up by like 7 a.m. American time, we'll be all good. I'm here, had life to deal with, but I'm back. I can't make the rules. Well, I'm glad you've dealt with life, and you will always be our life, Matt, is all we say here to anyone that's in. If you are watching the stream, you've got any questions about the upcoming matchup with the Niners, let me know. I think it's time to go into our first sexy graphic of the afternoon. Phil says, just popping in to say, go Birds, back to slinging some dough. Well, hopefully, Phil, if you bet on the Eagles this week, the bookies will be slinging you some dough because you'll have a winning bet, sir. Look at that for a segue. I hope you have a nice evening, Phil. Thank you, as always, for all you do. And I'm glad the Core 12 can give you a little wave on this leisurely evening. You need one of those light panels. It was, yeah, I've debated it, but it's only in the winter, funny enough. But I think it's just because I go to bed so late as well. I go to bed at like 5 a.m, and that doesn't help. But alas, you know, we're going to get segued before we even get on to the main topic. So we'll get on to some Eagles stuff. Now, I'll level with you. The graphics are all very small on my screen. I don't know which one's which. I think this is the first one. Oh, he's nailed it. Look at that. Tremendous. All right, tail of the tape. Here we go for Eagles versus Niners. And this is interesting. I didn't really know what to expect when I went over this. I certainly didn't expect San Francisco to be first in turnover differential, and that is what genuinely sparked my thought process for the point of tonight's stream. So I ended up making a blueprint of how to beat Brock Purdy, but the problem at the moment with Brock Purdy is that he just doesn't turn the ball over. He really doesn't turn the ball over. He's had, 6 interceptions all year. But do not fret. There is a pattern, and it's an intriguing pattern. So we will get there. But the Niners might well be the most well-rounded team in all of football. And there's no getting around that. There's no escaping it. When you look at the Eagles' pass defense, the fact that without Zach Cunningham, that's the other name we didn't mention earlier, so he's going to be out this week with injury. You're going to probably surrender a lot of yards through the air. The main thing the Eagles need to focus on is stopping the run. I don't want to spoil too much of later on in the show because there is a genuine hope, I will say, that the Eagles can beat the Niners. What surprised me, though, and we'll come back to this graphic in a little bit, I'm sure, is that for those that aren't sports betting fans among you, I'm sure you've looked at the lines for this week. The Eagles opened up 1-point favourites. As far as I'm aware, they opened up 1-point favourites over the Niners. We are now Friday evening, and they are 3-point underdogs at home to the Niners. Now, I don't get it. I do not understand where that comes from because realistically, in any kind of betting line for the NFL, home field advantage is about 2 points, isn't it? Depending on obviously the home, but it's around 2 point on average home advantage. Okay, so to be 1 point favorite and slide completely the other direction into San Francisco, I don't know why, unless it's just the fact that San Fran has been rolling recently. Like they have had a fairly good run of form, and they smacked the Cowboys up a few weeks before, but have I seen enough to warrant, put it this way, if I was a betting man, which I'm definitely not, and we do not have betting promo codes to give you where you can get free money. We don't do that at all. Eagles +3 feels like a very good bet. Like that feels like a sharp bet. I feel like so many people will be on San Francisco because of the panic. It's like you see the line shifting and shifting and shifting. Oh my God, it's going to go to like San Fran -2, -3. I don't think it is. You get the Eagles by a field goal at home, knowing that in the last 7 games, Jalen Hurts has gone down by more than 10 points. He's come back to win. You're basically needing the Eagles to stay within a touchdown. I think that's very attainable against the Niners this weekend. Oh, CJ with a donation. Dude, thank you so much. I was going to get to your question. I wanted to come back into it. I'm very sorry. You did have to donate $5, man. That's incredibly kind of you, though. Thank you for the Yeah, very generous act on this Friday evening. What a star you are. Love that from you. What a man. So I will answer your question. I'd be especially rude if I don't now. And I think the chances are of the Eagles bringing back one Zach Ertz. I think they're pretty big. I think this makes too much sense because if you look at the Philadelphia offense this season, or in fact, look at the Philadelphia offense for the last few seasons, the one unfortunate constant is that Dallas Goedert can't stay healthy for whatever reason it is, whether it's soft tissue, whether it's muscle strains. Like, he just always seems to miss 2 to 3 games a season on average. And usually there's a backup there. Like when Ertz was here, Goddard was the number 2, ready to jump up to that number 1. Now, the Eagles have tried to develop that number 2 behind Dallas Goedert, and it just hasn't worked. Like, Jack Stoll, I couldn't tell you what he's done. I said this in a TikTok I made the other day. No one cares as a defense if Jack Stoll runs curls, comebacks, slants, flippity-dippity doodahs. No one cares. No one's going to account for it. Grant Colcaterra, the same. There is no threat with Dallas Goedert gone, okay? So bringing someone back who once was an elite tight end, who knows it, who loves the city, and that's the thing. This isn't just like a normal Philadelphia player. This is someone that cried after the final game of the season. No, that's toxic. We don't do that. It was very wholesome, and I cried as well, all right? But he cried on the final game of his last season. He cried on his departing press conference. He goes to Arizona, still wearing a Philadelphia wristband. That was a thing at the time. He was still wearing the charity wristband that he had for a young Philadelphia fan. And he just loves the city. He's done okay in Arizona. Like, he's not been terrible by any stretch. It's just that they are absolutely muddied right now. Jonathan Gannon is being Jonathan Gannon. I'd be stunned if Jonathan Gannon didn't say to him a week before, we're going to sign you to a 5-year extension, Zach. That wouldn't shock me in the slightest. So to know they're going with Trey McBride, Ertz has come out and said he wants to go to a contender. He wants to win a Super Bowl. If only there was a team that was a contender that made the Super Bowl last year, that feels primed to at least get back to the championship game again, and that drafted him all those years ago. So the problem with Ertz before was that he hit an age where his upside didn't match the contractual value. That's the unfortunate reality. The NFL is a business. The Eagles let him go, okay? However, as someone that is just a possession receiver that fits the culture of this team, that wants to win, that will uplift those around him, and to help guys like Jack Stoll, to help guys like Albert O, potentially Grant Colcaterra, Tyree Jackson, you know, who are just there and they haven't really kicked on and developed. You're getting to learn about one of the best tight ends from a generation, really, from the last 10 years. You've got Zach Ertz, George Kittle, Travis Kelce. There aren't many more. Hawkinson is maybe getting to that point. You have Mr. Vikings fella, forgot what his name, Carl Randolph. Like, there are a few guys, but realistically, Ertz was like top 3 for a long, long time. So you bring him in on a minimum deal. You bring him, it's a good fit for the team. It's a good fit for Zach. He wants a Super Bowl. The Eagles need tight end depth because can you imagine if we get to the championship game, they face the Niners and Jack Stoll goes down with injury? I don't want to be on social media that day. I do not want to see the replies to that Eagles injury report. I do not want to see the outrage everywhere. Like, Zach Ertz is not an elite tight end. Is he serviceable as a backup? He has around half of Dallas Goedert's production this year. I think he has 187 yards on the season. It makes way too much sense to bring him in and be a number 2. Just switch the roles around. I think he's humble enough to understand that, you know, he's not what he once was. He's not going to be the top dog in Philly anymore, but he can help contribute to a Super Bowl win. And if Goddard goes down, he's got the receiving prowess to at least pull that team back into contention. So I think they're quite high. I did find it very funny. I'm not sure how many of you are on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, but I did find it quite funny earlier today that Adam Schefter tweeted that, oh, Zach Ertz wants to go to a contender, a team like Kansas or Buffalo. Like, he was always deliberately leaving out Philadelphia. It felt like the whole CM Punk thing of, oh, he's debating coming back to wrestling, you know, New Japan, Impact, like Ring of Honor, like somewhere, or not Ring of Honor, but you know what I mean, somewhere separate where he's deliberately missing the elephant in the room. I wonder if that was tongue-in-cheek. But to answer your question, CJ, I'd say pretty high. I would say the same amount of chances there is of me making a sloppy BJ reference this stream, which is nigh on guaranteed. So there we go. That's where we'll go with that one. And again, thank you for your donation. I will highlight the other comment as well. I'm sorry, I only had a minute to get to it, in fairness, but I appreciate your donation. It is very kind of you. Home is 2.5 to 3, I believe. Vegas is betting on getting the richer fans betting. Oh, sorry, getting the richer Winers fans to take bets to cover all the Eagles fans. Yeah, potentially, that's a good shout. I didn't think of that. I mean, it would make sense if it was an ESPN game. If it was like Monday night, because then you've got ESPN bet. It's obviously linked with that. Could be, something to keep an eye on. I do wonder how much bias there is there from sportsbooks, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It feels too baity. It feels like I'm missing something. There is no way the Eagles should be 3-point dogs in this game. Like, I don't see anything that would, make me want to pull the trigger on San Fran -3 on the road in Philadelphia. San Fran's only impressive wins were the Dallas and Jacksonville. True. That is very true. The Cowboys game was at home. All I know is to ignore my juvenile jokes. I would never ignore juvenile jokes on purpose. We'll go. There's a lot of... Oh, my God. The comments are never... I'm doing that thing again where I'm like 20 comments back. I need to catch myself up. Bear with me. Ertz is even more no yak than ever. Forget about it. Yeah, but you don't need him to. I don't think you need him to, because that's what AJ's there for. That's what someone like Zacchaeus is there for. It's what Smitty's certainly there for. You just want someone on a 3rd and 6 to catch a comeback with his back to the corner or the safety, and it's going to be a secure pair of hands. I think, that would be where I'm at. Zach ain't coming back to play 18 to 20-year snaps, but can still offer more outside of Stoll's blocking. True. I mean, I don't think actually, I don't know what Jack Stoll offers, if I'm honest. So again, even from a blocking standpoint, which is not his strong suit, I think it is going to be an improvement. Lane also tweeted Zach, oh, love that. Lane's on the recruiting mission. And that's the thing. If you look at how many guys like Zach played with before he left to Arizona, so many are still there. So many are still there. Like those cool guys from BG, Fletch, obviously Lane, Jason Kelsey for now. Sorry, I ate dinner about half an hour before this stream. I'm trying to fight through it. But yeah, it just feels like a good fit. It really feels like a good fit. Yeah, but do we trust Julio doing, I don't know. Oh, Julio's questionable anyway, isn't he? I'm pretty sure Julio's questionable this week anyway. Liam! Go Birds. I love that energy. That can stay. I need you all kicking up for that energy. I want all that. It's like I've just scored a 90th minute winner. I love that energy. Thank you for the support, Philly Flyers. I really appreciate that. Jay Fizz is in as well. Love to see you, sir. Thank you for hopping in as always. Ertz only needs 11 catches to break the all-time. Yeah, just get him in. Just get him in for a bit. Julio's a full go. K1's mugged me off again. He's making a habit of this, K1. Mugging me off midstream. He just comes in to wind me up at this point. Stop it. No, I'm joking. It's crazy how I'd have to go to a contending Cardinals team. Yeah, that's gone well. That's what happens when Jonathan Gannon's your head coach, if I'm honest. That's where we go. Look, we're approaching 20 minutes in. We'll get to our next point. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get to my point now, because I am intrigued, okay? I'll take you down the rabbit hole I went down. Because knowing me, I love a good story. It will take me 20 minutes to get there. So let's go back to image number 1. And we're going to play Classrooms with LJ, all right? I need a little bit of role play from you all here. So all 18 of you that are here, that's the 17 of you on YouTube and the one person watching on Facebook. Hello to whoever you are. I'm singling you out as a star. Here's what we're going to do, all right? I want someone in this classroom to tell me what you think is strange about this image. And don't slag it off. I don't mean the text or something's a bit wonky. I don't mean the logo. What about this image is strange to you? What stands out? What is something that doesn't fit the pattern? If you, from the eye test of watching these teams this year, I'll give you a hint. It starts with Sam. Now Benzer's come in. Hands up to Benzer. No, not pass defense, sir. No, it's a good effort though, but I appreciate that. I'll give you a hint. It's on the Niners side of things. Okay, it's on the Niners side of things. Isaac, no, other way. Yeah, that's it. Okay, there we are. Thank you very much, class. It's on the Niners side of things, guys. Yeah, that's what we're looking for today. Now, you've got a 1 in 5 chance here. So we need one of our lovely classroom members to put their hand up in a polite manner so the teacher can ask them a question. I'm still scared of Christian Alex starting, says Isaac. I'll ruin it for you. The numbers are turnover differential, okay? The Niners rank first in turnover differential, and I understand their defense is good. But without looking at the actual... Duck's found it. Duck has found it. And meanwhile, Matt is... That's not where we were... No, that's not where we... I'm going to inspire hope, Matty Mac. We're going to inspire hope, Sunshine. Don't you worry. Or when you're done listening to this segment, you'll be ready to run through a wall and buy a Kevin Byard jersey, I reckon. The turnover differential, Duck, is correct. That's what we're looking at. It is their first place in turnover differential, the San Francisco 49ers. And I was a bit stunned. I was a bit perplexed by that. Because realistically, they don't pass that much. They're a run-first offense. That was my perception. I don't watch every Niners game. But from what I've seen, I felt they kind of ride McCaffrey's back. There's a lot of optionality, a lot of misdirection, a lot of Debo over here and Ayuk over there. We know the game, okay? So turnover differential, all I know is that realistically, the defense is very good and Brock Purdy is stopping turning the ball over. Okay, so I was like, okay, well, let's go one further. Let's look at Jalen Hurts versus Brock Purdy. And you're like, okay, well, Brock Purdy's thrown 6 picks on the year. He ranks 19th. The Niners are +1 on turnover differential. They rank first in the NFL. So what have we seen here? What patterns can we see, class, from this Niners team? They rank 19 yards, first in completion percentage, right? Here's where we here's where we start cooking. Temperature's picking up. First in completion percentage, 19th in interceptions. So your quarterback ranks first in the entire league as like the safest passer. But he's turning it over 19th with 6 picks on the year. You're like, okay, well, that's slightly worrying. Surely if you're, completing upwards of 70% of your passes, then there has to be a reason why you're turning the ball over so much as a quarterback. And I'm not saying he's doing it inhumanely. Like, realistically, Jalen Hurts ranks 8th in completion percentage. He's 28th in picks. But context matters. You look at the way that Hurts has been throwing balls, the amount Jalen is being asked to throw. He's throwing like a franchise quarterback now. He's not being limited. I'm going to ruin this now with some people, but he's not throwing 17 times a game. Okay? Brock Purdy ranks first in completion percentage and 19th in picks. It didn't sit right. It did not sit right. So I dug a bit deeper. I took out my shovel. I went into the garden and I started digging and digging and digging. Now, Brock Purdy, the same Brock Purdy that, if we go back, just one more graphic, ranks first in completion percentage and 19th in picks, actually ranks 25th place in pass attempts per game. 25th. So they're not throwing the ball. They're not throwing the ball very much. McCaffrey, meanwhile, is second in rushing attempts per game. So you have got a direct contrast there to follow of a run game that is being ridden, and then you've got Brock Purdy picking up the pieces. Brock Purdy is picking up the pieces. The Eagles' run defense, also on that graphic, as we can see, ranks 3rd in the NFL. So a lot of you may be saying, oh, well, the obvious thing here is, Liam, like you've just pointed out, stop the run and Brock Purdy will throw picks. No. It goes better. You think I'm done? Hold on, wait a minute. You thought I was finished, a wise Philadelphia man once said. Look at this. I decided to look at games this season. Brock Purdy has thrown for 30 or more times. Okay? 30 or more times in a game. And compare that with his season average. So on the season, Brock Purdy has thrown 19 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. When he has been asked to throw more than 30 times a game, 5 of those interceptions have happened. 5 of 6, 90% of Brock's interceptions have happened when he has been asked to play a normal quarterbacking game where he throws more than 30 times. Sure, his completion percentage drops a bit, but his touchdowns drop a bit. His passer rating dropped near enough 10%, if not about 15%. He is more sporadic It is harder to protect the ball when you throw more. Brock doesn't throw more. He throws a lot of underneath passes. So how do you beat Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers? The answer is simple. You start out hot offensively. You get yourself out to a lead. And when you get on that lead, you do not sit back. You do not let up. You've got to put up 14, 21, but you've got to be 17 points through 3 drives. At least 10. At least 10. Because if the Niners chase and you suffocate the run, Brock Purdy has to throw. And he has to throw more than 10 times. And when he does that, he's going to throw himself out of his little protective bubble that Kyle Shanahan's built around him. Oh, fluky 7th round Brock Purdy. Oh, he's so good through... No, he's not. He does nothing overwhelmingly well. He's not athletically gifted. He doesn't have a cannon for an arm. He's just in a safe bubble where he's being asked to make single, quick, double reads and protect the football. And when he's asked to throw more than 30 times in a game, 5 of his 6 interceptions have come when he has to throw more than 30 times per game. The blueprint is that simple. And with that, we'll go over to your comments. That might be the most impressive thing I've done in the history of this live stream. I'm genuinely... I had a Monster Energy drink earlier. I went all in. So let's see what you guys made. 8 of those turnovers were Dallas and Jax. 1 is don't throw in the red zone. Purdy's a bad game manager. Bro, that is an elite graphic. I'm telling you, I was cooking. I was on cooking there. Except that, the left side cut off. That's annoying. Yeah, I mean, look. Sure, that is, not great. That isn't great because he is still playing at a high level. But the main takeaway is that he is someone that is protecting the ball like proficiently. Like he's trying to protect the football. And as soon as he throws more than 30 times, 5 of his 6 interceptions have come. So it's not even that he can still be good. He can still push the Niners down the field. But if you've got a 2-possession lead and Purdy makes 1 turnover on course to throwing 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, that 1 pick is all the difference. That 1 pick is all the difference. You're not trying to... You can't beat Brock Purdy because the Niners it's the Niners system. And I am calling him a system quarterback. There's nothing that excites me about Brock Purdy. But you cannot beat a quarterback like Brock Purdy because he's not doing anything to help you beat him. It's not like you can go, like we said the other week, okay, when we played the Chiefs, and we said that the receivers are Shelton Gibson on steroids, and that you have to gradually, boiling frog analogy, I was told, rip that from under me. I thought I was onto something there. The boiling frog analogy. So put the pressure on, make Mahomes scatter a bit, come off that first read, and expect the receivers to bail him out, because they can't, because they're shit. And that was the entire ethos of beating the Chiefs, and it works. Look, sure, it was a bit lucky because Mecole Hardman decided to turn into like prime Travis Fulgham for a week, but we had the blueprint. We had the blueprint, and I think we've got it here again. You cannot treat Brock Purdy like a normal quarterback of, just blitz him, just send pressure, because he will just take the checkdowns and vacated areas in the middle of the field. Where right now, Zach Cunningham's absent. Fletcher Cox is down. They're going to lack some pressure anyway. You've got guys like George Kittle who are going to wreak havoc over the middle. Christian McCaffrey is as dynamic as they come. He's going to leave some guys on the island. He'll break some ankles, I'm sure. You can't just beat Brock Purdy by throwing everything if his whole game plan is just get the ball out quick. We've seen it a million times. And it reminds me of the Giants era when they played Jim Schwartz and he was Eagles defensive coordinator. How many games when the Giants were horrific and they played the Eagles under Jim Schwartz's tenure, did they end up just in games and the quarterback throw like 300 yards and complete 30 of 32 passes for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns? Because you just take what's there. And Jim Schwartz would send the things. You just throw gently over the top, let guys like Odell or whoever begin to pick up the yards. And that's what they will do. That offense is built to do it. You cannot leave Deebo Samuel without anyone up here to come down. You cannot leave Brandon Ayuk that sideline area, that pocket of space on a curl. You need players sat back. And the Eagles' pass defense, love it or hate it, We can all agree that it's been shit at times this year and the pass defense hasn't been brilliant. But the pass defense itself ranks near the bottom of the league because it allows all that, it sucks it all up, and then it's able to kind of throw it back in its own way. Whether it's by suffocating the run, whether it's by encouraging those longer developing plays to allow the pass rush to get home in the first place, there's a reason for it. It's like, we'll give up passing yards and we'll win here. Whereas Jim Schwartz says, we'll give up passing yards and we'll give up passing yards. So there is a mentality there. The way to beat Brock Purdy is on offense. You make him have to throw because we know the Eagles can nullify McCaffrey. Look, if McCaffrey has 120 scrimmage yards, fine. That's an average day at the office. There's no severe damage done there. It's okay. They can just about get by with their tails between the legs. They cannot do that if Brock Purdy puts up 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. It doesn't happen. Not when the team still has this many undisciplined holes. What they have to do, they have to start fast. They have to score early. They've got to put the pressure on San Fran. And if they can do that, Brock Purdy will give the game to them because he has to throw. He has to be aggressive. And his whole thing is he doesn't need to be aggressive because the offense will do it for him. And the defense will generate all the turnovers for him. And he can just lollygoggins his way down the field, doing what he wants, gently throwing 3-yard passes. And that's it. You cannot let that happen. And if you can avoid that by making Purdy down by 14 into halftime, come out in that second half, needing to score, needing to drive down the field, that's how you beat Brock Purdy. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. LJ's key to victory is something the team doesn't do. Look, I didn't say I was, a wizard. I said there's a blueprint. I didn't say the Eagles could follow it. I said there is a blueprint. Whether they can or do follow it, unfortunately, is out of my control. Please do the rest of this show in that Brock Purdy voice. I appreciate the kind comments, CJ. Welcome to the Call 20, by the way. You're now one of us. You're in. You've been inducted. You're welcome. Take a bow, Liam. That was great. I'm going to have to clip it. I have to go back, clip it all up, put it on TikTok. But I don't know. I think I'm proud of that. There's definitely something there. It sounds to me Brock isn't the greatest out of the structure or off script. He's not one to give a lot of time in a scramble drill. That's the thing. So you can't just throw everyone at him because he will end up costing you more. It's annoyingly like playing Sam Howell. I think as I've looked at that, we make Sam Howell look like Sam Bradford. And that's a compliment because I love Sam Bradford. I'm not taking that as an insult, by the way. I refuse, frankly. But yeah, San Fran is just a team that will not go. Well, they won't stray from the beaten path, and that's fine because their beaten path is a great offensive line, a great defensive line. They're very similar to the Eagles outside of the fact the Eagles have an elite quarterback. The Niners arguably have the better offensive system. And if you look at the way it's being play called right now, should the Eagles, if we're being brutally honest with ourselves, have 10 wins? Not really. How much of that is because of, I don't want to single out Brian Johnson, but certainly the offensive play calling and execution. 6-7 wins. They should be 7-8 if we're being generous. But they should have dropped a few more games. They didn't deserve to win a few of those games. Okay, and that's fine. I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're certainly a good team. But good teams find ways to win. The Eagles put themselves behind the 8 ball, got themselves back out of it. That's okay. However, the Niners don't do that. The Niners are very disciplined. That scheme just works. It speaks for itself. It's effortless football. Okay, look, I'll liken it to this. The Eagles' offense is like when you go to a Walmart or a Target or a store and you go through the checkout and you've got 50 items and the scanner's going mental and she's trying to scan everything. She's there playing speedy up Tetris, whipping it all through, asking if you've got a loyalty card, trying to bag it up. It's a lot. And when you've got a lot and you've got 20 customers in a row, sometimes she'll miss an item. Sometimes she's going to, drop one or she'll make a weird comment. I won't put the correct amount on the card reader, okay? The Niners offense is no better, but it's cheaper to run. It's touchscreen. You weigh it yourself. You put your card in and it works every time. That's the difference. Now, from a human upside perspective, Juliet at Walmart has plenty more to offer, okay? She might even make it to manager one day. There's more meat on that bone. Not that Julia's big, not in that way, but you know what I mean. Whereas the Niners is limited. It does what it does. It is a card reading, self-service checkout. You sign up, you scan, you weigh, you pay, you leave. That's the Niners offense. That's all that offense is going to be, because it is systematically, in the nicest of ways, perfect. The Eagles isn't. The Eagles have all the right pieces, and they can't make it perfect. So I'm on. This is a hell of a show. I'm on fire. If I do say so myself, I'm not a very egotistical man, but I think we are cooking this evening. I need to start going driving range before more often. If you are enjoying today's show and you I muted the microphone. Sorry, I think it's going to be really dodgy quality now, isn't it? Hang on. No, we're back. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you are listening to today's stream and enjoying it, please let me know. Your comments, your thoughts on today's topics. If you can leave a like, that'd be absolutely amazing. It's the best way to help the show grow. Again, I mean, we are live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, as you can now see on a banner that I definitely didn't forget to put up earlier in today's show. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern is when you can catch this show live. Hopefully we'll see more of you here from there. We've still got 20 minutes left, so plenty to talk about when it comes to the Eagles and Niners. But if you do like it, and you could leave a like, it would mean a lot. And if you hit the subscribe button, then obviously you get notified when we do go live, and we can see you more and more often, which is great to see. We are seeing more of you. Stop by more regularly. We're having a hell of a time, and we'll let the chaos ensue. Liam muting. I know. It's always, I need to get the mic. The thing is, I've got the mic stand in my bedroom. Not there. It's not up. It's not like in the bedroom stood up. It's just like in a cupboard somewhere. But it's in the bedroom. I just haven't got it. So I think because partly this is my dining room table and it's bad enough having a computer here for now. I can't get a desk in because without going down the rabbit hole, the flat's up for sale. So I've got to move out soon, which means I can't really afford to put more furniture in. But alas, John De La Rosa says, sounds like a soccer prediction. You sound like Pedro De La Rosa, the Formula One driver. There you are, 1-1. No. Look, unfortunately, my soccer predictions are way worse. You do not want to see the soccer predictions. The NFL ones are far better, as evidenced by today's blueprint on how to beat Brock Purdy, I would say. Another rain game is going to help on Sunday. Probably anything you can do to just force Purdy to be aggressive. That's the thing. CJ said we did deserve to win those few games where we had some lucky calls or drops. We started to go out. That's fair. No, that's completely fair. I didn't mean it in like a bad way. I just meant in terms of like, did the Eagles play well enough to? I don't know. I feel like, for instance, the game against the Chiefs, I feel like they deserve to win. I don't think I'll word it like this: how many games did the Eagles win? The other teams lose would be a lot more like 7-8 than 10, which is, I think, is fair. They've still had to be good enough to go out and get the job done, admittedly, and they've done a good job at that. But they've left stuff out there. I've got to find another analogy for meat on the bone because I keep saying it. But yeah, Brock Purdy, I don't think is a threat if the Eagles can get him off his back foot. The other thing you've got to take into account is the Eagles pass rush. Like, you've got guys like Hassan Reddick that have been really rampant over the past few weeks. And at the end of the day, Brock Purdy isn't at a level, I don't think, where he's going to be unfazed by that. Like, no one sees Hassan Reddick and goes, yeah, fine. Like, maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe some of the best in the league, Mahomes, Burrow, whoever. But you see a man Hassan's size storming towards you at the speed of sound, you're probably going to be a bit fearful. And I think Brock Purdy is not exempt from that rule. And all it's going to take is a few more. And I hate to be that guy. And not that Fletch being down is a good thing. But if you give more exposure to someone like Milton Williams, who just is more athletically gifted at this moment in time, he's more explosive. Like, he's basically a defensive tackle that can move like a defensive end and spin off guys. It's incredible. And you've seen that begin to yield results the past couple of weeks. So having a guy like Milton Williams get more time. Hassan Reddick is going to be a key focal point. Jordan Davis, we know, it's going to be won and lost in the trenches. But if the Eagles can sustain their offense, that's the thing. I don't think you beat San Francisco's offense with defense. You beat it with better offense. And if you win 40-34, you win 40-34. If you win 50-48, you win 50-48. It doesn't matter. But you are not going to outcoach Kyle Shanahan from an offense versus defense perspective because they protect Brock Purdy so much. And not in a literal sense from the offensive line, but in terms of the optionality he's got, in terms of the quick reads and the skill sets that those receivers have to turn upfield and to make things happen out of nothing. So when all is said and done, you've got to make Brock Purdy throw. This is still a quarterback in his second year. We mustn't forget that. This isn't a 5-year veteran that is unfazed and has experienced everything. He's like 10-3 as a starter. Big whoop. Okay? A lot of guys have been. He was still a 7th round pick. He hasn't really had that many big games. I mean, if we go back, look, I don't know, he wouldn't have played in all of these. Oh, we can go back to his PFR, can't we? Here's time for the average Liam shouting at Bing, sharing his screen segment of the show for those unfamiliar. Let's share the screen with that one. All right, so hopefully, I'm not sure you can see me. I'm trying to lean forward and do it with 2 hands. Let's go game logs. And we'll start with 2022. And just look at the teams that he has beaten and the way he's done it, right? So he starting here. Miami, fair enough, big win, nice. But only threw for 200 yards. Tampa Bay, threw for 185 yards. Seattle, look at that. His entire first season, okay? Get that out of the way. Close it. Thank you. His max was 284. He threw over 25 or 26 times once outside of the game against Miami. 2 games over 30 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in those 2 games, we didn't even include this on the graphic earlier. But look, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a pick. Every time. Dude, it is every time he throws to more than 30 attempts, he turns the ball over. It's every time. Without fail. We go to 2023, which is here. All right? 30 times. All right, he hasn't done it that time. But he's done it there. He's done it there. He's done it there. So what is that? 4 out of 5 times he's thrown more than 30. He's turned the ball over. Against Pittsburgh, 200 yards. 65% completion. Okay. 25 attempts. 200 yards. 208, 250. The guy just doesn't. 125 yards and they lost. This is what I'm trying to say. I understand. I think that might have been the injury one. I think he might have got knocked up. Not knocked up. Jesus. Nicked up. He might well have got knocked up. I don't know. But realistically, 12 of 27 and you're not throwing it anymore is ludicrous. Like other games they've lost there. 21 of 30. Okay? 2 interceptions lost. I don't actually look at what his win record was when he threw more than 30 times. So it'll be 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2. That's annoying. Oh, I was hoping I get some confirmation bias there. That's frustrating. 2-2. We're going to 2022. It doesn't really matter. You get my point. You get my point where I'm going with it. Who is this fella coming in? Purdy throwing dots. All right, okay. So let me hang on. So the Smitty, I believe, will be a Niners fan, right? I'm assuming. I'm trying to catch up with the. No. To see, right? This is the thing. As I guess, content creator, like, look, I create content as part of my job. I suppose it's there, isn't it? I literally refuse to have it because I know it's how we all get paid. So it's like, as much as it infuriates me, I want to support the boys, you know? Like, look, I go to bed at 5 a.m. and I watch some like 2-hour documentary on YouTube by like Scott the Woz, like a compilation on retro video games. Secure that bag, Scott. I'll watch every length advert you have. You secure the bag, you know, buy yourself a nice new Nintendo 64. Fine by me. It is frustrating, sure, but it's just my way of like, look, I know if everyone used ad blocker, I wouldn't have a job. So that's where I'm at. Is like, the least I can do is give people something, you know, to say like, I'll watch all your adverts. It's very rare that I like skip something fully on YouTube unless I'm like in a hurry. And that I'm promise I'm not trying to take a moral high ground. I wouldn't expect or ask or, anyone else to ever do that. But just being in that boat and knowing the difference it makes, like if every single person that watched if every single person that read an article on PSN clicked every advert, I'd be a millionaire. So it just is the way of the world. Right, outside now. Unbelievable. We do not accept that in this classroom, okay? We're a community in this class. We look after each other. We all have different beliefs, okay? The Smitty, for instance, believes Brock Purdy is a good quarterback, but we don't mock him for it. What we do is we just roll up the screenshots. All right, the Smitty. There is only one Smitty in this city, and it damn sure isn't you, Sunshine. But what we're going to do, let's play the classroom game with the Smitty, all right? We've got 15 minutes left. It's been our main talking point. I'm sure it'd be good to have a little reminder of where this thesis started. The Smitty. Would you be so kind as to tell me what the anomaly here is for San Francisco, the Smitty? Can you tell me? What number stands out to you as being a dodgy one there, the Smitty? Yeah? Since you want to be funny in front of the class, come to the front. And look, before we get into him, I do that. I watch Love Actually alone. It's a great film. It's my favourite Christmas film. And I will not have that. Do you want to join these Smitty on the naughty step margin? Because you will be. You're going that way about it. All right? One chance. Settle back down. Anyway, the anomaly here, the Smitty, is the interception rate. 19th in interceptions. You think, Brock Purdy, first in completion rate, 19th in interceptions. That's a little bit funny, isn't it? Why is that then? So we go one step deeper. It's the wrong graphic. We go one step deeper. Brock Purdy ranks 25th in pass attempts per game, but Christian McCaffrey ranks second in rush attempts per game. Oh, I can't believe what I'm reading. So here is wrong graphic, for fuck's sake. Where's the graphic? That one. He's 19th in interceptions. First in completion rate, but get this. 25th in pass attempts per game. So he's throwing it fewer than anyone else, but ranks 19th in interceptions. So I was like, well, if they're not throwing it, and McCaffrey is getting the second most run attempts per game, and the Eagles have the third best run defense in the NFL, and they can, somewhat nullify Christian McCaffrey here, well, then surely Brock Purdy's going to have to throw. So what does Brock Purdy look like when he has to throw more than 30 times a game? 5 of his 6 interceptions this season have come where he throws more than 30 times per game. You daft little bozo, the Smitty. You daft little bozo. Yeah, that's what we say. Brock Purdy, if he has to throw the ball more than 30 times a game, becomes nothing more than Chase Daniel. That's an exaggeration. He has a 90 rating and he's still averaging nearly 300 yards per game. But you get what I mean, okay? 5 of his 6 picks have come when he throws more than 30 times per game. I do not fear Brock Purdy. I fear Brian Johnson. I do not fear the Niners. I fear sloppy BJs. There I go. I said it. Yeah, there you go with a dumbass stat. Yeah, you and your facts and your logic and your understanding of football. God. Yeah, funny. That'll make a difference, wouldn't it? Oh, funny. Who has the McCaffrey voodoo, though? I will say I'm scared of McCaffrey. I love Christian McCaffrey. I think he's just one of the best running backs in the NFL. I don't want him to see, I don't want to see him do well this week. But at the same time, he's just fun to watch. Like, I really wanted him to come to Philadelphia. So there's that. When CMC has 10 yards on the day and Purdy's thrown 2 picks, I would be joyous. Give me oil in my lap. Keep me burning, Isaac. I would be joyous. I would be absolutely joyous. Hurts turnovers. Yeah, we weren't talking about Jalen Hurts. The premise was how we beat Brock Purdy. 10-1. Right, he's winding me up now. Someone's going to put him in the naughty bin in a minute. But look, we have new people watching the show. Love, hate, it's all the same thing. All right, it'll be a Core 12 member eventually. Look at TMC, Bills fan. Still rolls up, doesn't he, as one of the boys, one of the Core 12. I've got to say, guys, look, And I know we're 10 minutes away from the ending, so we're a bit early for a soppy goodbye. But I have noticed a massive uptick in views over the past couple of weeks. The core 12, I think, is now core 15, core 20. If you're in this chat and you haven't yet said hello, make sure you do. Just get your comment in. Give me a score prediction. There's 26 of you here. Get your score prediction in the chat as to what you think is going to happen when the Eagles play the Niners this weekend. Purdy or the Niners, DeGuff. What you do not fear, bruh. Y'all getting whooped. Well, that showed me. Boy, am I scared now of the Niners. That got me terrified, boys. Anyway, MVP Trent Williams is back. Delusions at an all-time high. TMC handled his loss well. He did. I love TMC. He is a lovely fella indeed. Look, we have got 9 minutes to go, nearly 8. I'm counting down. I've got a timer up there where it says how long I've been live. Which means I think there he is. Talk of the devil. TMC coming in. Like, the Eagles will get wrecked. Terrible. So someone just said he's taken that loss well. He's taken that loss. I don't think he's taken that loss well. Look, instead of this, beat your own meat. Go touch grass. Do something. Whining on my YouTube video is not going to help, is it? Sunshine. Getting in caps lock, all up in your feelings, putting your caps lock on and shouting angrily at a British kid's not going to change anything, is it? Grief. Nina says hello. How are you, Nina? Hope you've had a lovely evening. 9-0 prediction incoming. All right, so let's get to predictions then. Where are we at, boys? What are we saying? Now, normally, I don't think we've actually had a page yet where one of us has maybe strayed from the norm and predicted an Eagles loss. I wonder if someone's bold enough to do it today. Who's going to be the guy out of the 27 in this chat? Or the girl, sorry, Nina, in this chat. Have I starred that comment? Oh, dear. My apologies. Let's have a look. What we said. I think the Philadelphia Eagles will win 31-27. 31-27. That's my take. I think Philadelphia wins 31-27. And because of a Brock Purdy pick. That's my take. I think. Excuse me, I was trying to read the comments there. I think it'll end with a Doc Purdy. That's because I was reading Duck's comment. A Doc Purdy. That's Duck's new nickname. I think it will end with a Brock Purdy pick. I think given the thesis that we've laid out today in this classroom setting, I think the Eagles have the blueprint. They just need to execute. We have had 11 weeks of QB draw after everything. Okay? It stops now. It gets serious now. The Eagles are at home. They've beaten the Dolphins. They've beaten the Chiefs. They've beaten the Cowboys. They've beaten just about everyone there is that the AFC has to offer. Now they turn to the NFC, and they have to beat the best the NFC has to offer. And I think they do it. I don't think, realistically, Brock Purdy's got it in him. He doesn't have that dog in him. What does Brock Purdy have to, bring that extra element out of San Francisco? If the Eagles go down by 10, Jalen Hurts has enough individual ability to turn that game around. If the Niners go down by 10, Brock Purdy has enough individual ability to put the nail in that coffin, to send the Niners home with a loss, and to give all momentum to Philadelphia. And that is where we stand on that. Is he still chirping up over it? Unbelievable. Doctor is in. The Doc is here. Doc Q68. Eagles are built to beat the whiners and the cry girls. They hate us and we don't care. That is true, but I've got a bone to pick with that song. That it was originally a Millwall song. Millwall. I sound like water bottle. Millwall's a football team in England, a soccer team, and they are the team I support's biggest rival. So every time I sing that song, part of me is very happy. Part of me feels united. Part of me wants to cry in a corner and look like, in Harry Potter where baby Voldemort's all curled up and looks a bit like weird. I feel like that. What time is it in the UK? It's currently 11:55 in the evening. On that note, so I'm actually away this weekend. So I'm going to London for just a short Christmas trip with my girlfriend for a few days, just before the hustle and bustle of Christmas sets in. It's also the only week we can see each other properly, like over Christmas. We're having an earlier one. So there won't be a stream on Monday unless I can shithouse one from the hotel room. I don't know how she's going to feel. I'll try. I will try. I won't let anyone down. So I will try it on Monday. But if not, I will next see you on Wednesday, which is a long time. It's like half a week. Even I'm emotional. I'm just thinking about it. I want to cry. I'm about to go and I'll be crying more than D. Smitty will be. Blah, 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 blah. Tired. Go to sleep then. Hush now, little one. It's past your bedtime, isn't it? I'll tell you what. This Smitty is doing a great job at showing everyone he still pisses the bed. And that is all we're going to say. That is all we're going to say. Prediction finally, says Greg Moody. The Eagles do it dirty to the 49ers. We're talking OnlyFans. We're talking filth. Yeah? We're talking those Saturday night ones where you question yourself after them. That kind of filth. Eagles start fast. I can't believe I just said that on a stream. Plus 9.5 points in the first half for the first time in 3+ games. 49ers try as they might, but never catch up. So they go 30-22 Birds. I like that. I like that layout of the game. Eagles, to see what Greg's done there. See the thesis. See the blueprint. He's got it all together, and he's got us a whole script. He's got us a whole script for the upcoming game, and I, for one, am all for it. So, loved it. Phil did it from Resort, I know. Yeah, but the difference is, Phil's is in the morning, mine's at like 11 at night. So, there's a chance. Maybe we'll get her on the stream. Maybe we'll try and like lure her into coming on the stream, and we can talk about the Eagles and stuff. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can pull off. Dude, make sure you spend time with the GM. I appreciate it. I mean, we've got a whole weekend. We're going to loads of wholesome Christmassy markets and stuff, so it'll be a good time. But I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I will be watching the game. She hasn't got away that far. We're tempted to watch it at Passyunk Avenue, which is obviously for those that know, or for those that don't know, it's the Philadelphia-themed cheesesteak bar in London, run by a guy called JP, who was in Philadelphia, moved to London. I think he imports the bread from Philadelphia, so it's like really soft, like special bread. Look, I'm not a cheesesteak connoisseur, I don't know. But it is phenomenal. Like, it's really, really it's an authentic. Like, if something says Philly cheesesteak on it, it's assumed I will try it just because of my job. So I kind of have to be like inundated with it. That is the nicest thing by a country mile I've ever had. Do you actually? What? You live in the UK? Or do you mean at the Philadelphia street? If you lived in the UK this whole time, have I been catfished for years? That is unbelievable. Your girl needs to learn. Too many excuses, Liam, like the Niners. Yeah, exactly. You won't believe me, but the Eagles go down 17-7 and come back with 3 straight touchdowns in the rain. Now, that's romantic. That is borderline romantic. That is. You listen to that at a 3 a.m. playlist, I reckon. Tremendous scenes, Isaac. I love that from you. Oh, the actual street. Right. Well, make sure you don't dox yourself, all right? You now live 20 minutes away from Passyunk Avenue. But that's sick, though. Yeah, so it's like Passyunk, isn't it? Or Passyunk? I don't know. Anyway, restaurant there. It's a Philadelphia-themed bar, and they show the Eagles games. So I might go there and see what we can do. Just say hello and have a cheesesteak, have a couple of beers. I had a blue moon. Is it a blue moon? I had a blue moon. That was quite nice. Did Liam want Ertz? Liam always wants Ertz. All right, I love it when it hurts. I'm a big fan of it. I think that the Eagles would be behooved to at least explore that opportunity as someone that just fits the culture. The Eagles have a clear need for a backup tight end because Jack Stoll isn't that guy. Albert isn't that guy. Grant Colcaterra is a guy. And that's about it. So realistically, I think there has to be a push from the Eagles. Like, if Ertz wants to join a contender, it's like Ertz is like, you know, when you're like 15 and you've got a crush on someone and you tell your friend to tell the person you've got a crush on them. Feels like that's what Ertz is doing. He's like, I want to join a contender. I want to play in the Super Bowl and I requested my release. I requested my release. And he's hinting. So I think Harry Roseman will pick up the hints. I think they'll bring him in. He's got familiarity with a lot of the teams that are there. The players that are still on the team. And he'd be a very viable 1B to Dallas Goedert. He doesn't have to be putting up 300 yards. We need 100 yards? And that'll be it. 100 yards over the next 4 weeks if he signed this upcoming one. and everyone would be more than happy. So, yeah, I'm all in on a Zach Ertz return. Liam wants that to Christmas. I don't know what I actually want for Christmas on that note. I'll tell you what, I want something really stupid. There's a book by a golf coach that I follow online. It's really good. It's like $25, which is way overpriced for a book, in my opinion. But I'm going to get that. I'm going to ask for that. An AEW ticket, if anyone wants to do that for All In next year. Golf balls. A Kelly Green jersey, I suppose, would be nice. We want the Jordan Matthews interview. Do you want the, what is in like the link to the old one? I can find it. Hang on. I can find the old one. It was really good. There were two. I think I put them both on the web. One was for an e-magazine and one was online. I can find it before I go. Let me find it. God, I wrote so many articles about Jordan Matthews. Come on, where is it? That's just the exact same. So I know I'm not sharing my screen. I'll do that because otherwise I'm just staring into the abyss. Give me 2 seconds. That worked. Cool. All right. Just so I can. What the heck? It's got like I haven't done it now. Oh, get off. What's this? I didn't do this. What's this? Stop it. Get off, Bing. You shit browser. I hate you with all my heart. You waste of space. Oh my God. That is the exact same page. Oh, it's because I hit chat and not next. Right. Okay. Register. No. There we go. That one. I thought I was being really quirky with this. Why is it? Right, here we are. So this is my interview with Jordan Matthews from 2017. So there you are. It's a little early Christmas present to you if you would like to read it. Dude, I'm not even joking. The amount I would pay Sam Bradford like a grand. I'd pay Sam Bradford $1,000 to interview him because I think I could get the best interview of like what happened, like what actually happened there. And just his career and the story and coming out of college and winning Rookie of the Year and looking like the next big thing when like the last year where those rookie contracts were guaranteed and the pressure and the trade and the Minnesota and the King Caracas, like all of it. I think it'd be a great interview. It'd be a really cool retrospective because I don't think he ever does media. I don't think I've actually ever seen him do an interview. So I'd love it. Ask him, he's not doing much. I got to try and find his agent. I'm pretty sure it used to be Drew Rosenhaus. I don't know. I'll try and do some digging, but I've thought about it a lot in terms of trying to bring him in to do an interview. I don't think he'd do one though. But you know, I don't know. The answer is an Eagles Super Bowl. That's what we want for Christmas. Very true. Very true. I can't lie with that. But guys, on that note, Maz has just come in with his prediction. Whoa, hold your horses. 27 Eagles. 49 is 27. Eagles 24. Well, he's the first man to predict an Eagles loss. And for that, I respect it. In a chat full of Eagles fans, I respect that. Fair enough, Maz. Look at that. And we're a wholesome community. No one's going to be mean and say anything bad. I'm going to say this as like a slew of abuse just comes up the screen. But no, fair enough. Do you know what? The game's the game. He's being unbiased. I respect it. Mandem chatting Bing and that. I'm going to London this week. I'll be repping all over, fam. Don't you worry, my bro. Blood. So, yeah, man. I'm made for the ends. Appreciate you, Maz. Maz ain't Maz. The Maz ain't Maz. I don't know why that made me laugh so much. That's great. It's a valid prediction, exactly. And do you know what? What we will say is shout out the Smithy because he's come in as a Niners fan, wound us all up, but he's stuck with us for about half an hour and watched an Eagles-based stream on his Friday night. It's 7 p.m. on a Friday, and he's chosen to spend that with us. And that, regardless of whether he's a knobhead or not, is good. And I respect you for that, the Smithy. Doc comes in, 34 Eagles, 17, but that's a confident, ballsy prediction. I love that from you. That's a good effort. And on that note, guys, I will love you and leave you. I will let you know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'll put the username here because I can't be asked to. I mean, I'm quite easy to find on Twitter, but in case you don't, I will tweet on Monday, as to whether there'll be a stream on Monday or not. If it's not Monday, it will be Wednesday at 6. Wednesday at 6 Eastern, but I'll try and shoehorn a Monday in if we can get away with it. Maybe I've just sat there whispering like, hey guys, the Eagles beat the Niners and it was wicked. I don't know. Could be something like that. Another hour. I legitimately would tonight, but I've got to be up in like 7 hours to get a train to go to London. And like, the other thing is, when I end on this story, I got caught out because I was like, can we not just, I don't know, go later? Can we just get a later train? And my girlfriend said to me, you get up at that time for golf. It shouldn't be difficult. And I was like, fair enough. She's had my pants down there, not for the first time, and it certainly will not be the last. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you all hopefully on Monday and hopefully with an 11-1 Eagles team to talk about. Thank you so much for hanging out. You've all been absolutely splendid to spend time with. The Core 12 has now become a growing Core 15, Core 18, whatever you want to call it. We are growing in members. It's great to see so many of you hanging out. Hopefully, we'll have some more guys to come through to be welcomed into our little community. A shout out to CJ again as well for the $5 donation. Certainly didn't have to do that. It's very kind of you. And I will see you all on Monday or Wednesday. But go Birds. Have a fantastic weekend, each and every one of you. Thank you again for your unwavering support and choosing to spend an hour of your time 3 days a week with me. It's not lost on me. It means a lot. I'm glad that we can provide some value for you at PSN. Enjoy your weekend. Have some fun. Enjoy an Eagles win. We'll see you on Monday or Wednesday. Go Birds. Really quickly, because now we've ended the stream, everyone's tuned out. Fuck off, Baldwin.